Hi, I'm Jay, and today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make butternut soup. As fall approaches and there's a chill in the air, there's always a lot of squash available for sale at just about every market that you go to. And butternut is one of my favorites. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of soups, but butternut soup is one that I really, really enjoy. I'm going to show you a really quick, easy, and really tasty butternut soup recipe that you can throw together in about 35 minutes. Let's look at the ingredients. For this recipe, you're going to need approximately 3 pounds, which is a large butternut. You might need more than one. 1 large onion, 4 or more cloves of garlic, some olive oil, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, a tablespoon of maple syrup, 4 cups of vegetable stock, 2 tablespoons of butter, and some ground black pepper. You can add a half a cup of cream, which is an optional ingredient. I'm not going to be adding it today. Let's put this recipe together. This recipe couldn't be simpler to throw together. So we're going to start off with a nice saucepan, and we're going to drizzle in some of our olive oil. And again, no exact measurements. Remember, this is all about your taste. We're going to start off by frying up our onions. And into that, we're immediately going to grind up some of our black pepper. And I am going to toss in my salts. And we're just going to fry those up until the onions are slightly translucent. So about 4 to 6 minutes, maybe a little longer. And once our onions have started to soften up and become translucent, we're going to throw in our garlic. And as you know, there's probably a little bit more than 4 cloves in there. Let that soften up for a minute or two. And really watch your heat, because you don't want the onion to burn at the bottom. You just want to make sure that it's nice and softened up. And your garlic really doesn't need much more than a minute or two. And now we're going to sprinkle in our nutmeg. And of course, now that everything's sort of coming together with the onion and the garlic and that nutmeg, the smell is really amazing in here. We're going to add in the star of the show, of course, which is our squash. And once your butternut is in, we're going to just saute it for a little while. And now that our squash is just starting to soften a little, we're going to add in about 3 of our cups of broth. Give it a good stir. Once your stock has come to a boil, you're going to cover it and reduce the temperature just so that it goes down to a gentle simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. And now our butternut has been simmering for about 20 minutes, and you can test for doneness just using a fork and finding a nice big chunk and making sure that it comes apart very easily. And now that your butternut is cooked all the way through, you can use an immersion blender or just a regular countertop blender, and that's what I'm going to use to blend this down till it's smooth. And we're just going to throw some of this into our blender. And if your blender is not big enough, that's okay. You can do this a little bit at a time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add in some of my butter because I want some of that flavor to be well mixed in there. And we're just going to pulse it for a little bit until smooth. And now that it's almost fully pureed, I'm going to throw in our maple syrup and the rest of my butter. So we're going to give it another quick mix, and then it's time to taste. And now it's my favorite part, of course, and that is the taste. There's a lot of aroma in the room right now. It smells really good in here, very much like fall. I'm actually quite excited for this. It's not a very thick soup, but it's not runny at all. Nice and smooth, and definitely smell the garlic in there, but there's that little hint of maple which makes it very Canadian, and a little bit of nutmeg aroma there too. Let's give it a taste. Oh, that is divine. Just so smooth, and is actually, you can taste that butter because we added it right at the very end. I like this recipe because it's so versatile, because you can really make it your own. You can add more maple syrup. You can use honey if you'd like, and some people just use sugar, and that's okay. You've got to make this your own, and you've got to try this recipe. Of course, you can also refrigerate this for up to 4 days to make ahead for a special event. Or you could freeze it for a couple of months, so long as it's in an airtight container. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button, remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. Remember too that you can follow me on my social media, my Facebook and my Instagram, and those links are below in the comment section. And you can also support this channel by visiting my Patreon. That link is below in the comment section as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.